Okay, guys, I think I'm going to talk a little bit today about this creation of duality. So, because we've talked about third dimension, and you guys should know third dimension. You've been living in it for a while, or you were. Now you're in fourth dimension, and the fourth dimension still has a lot of the same aspects of third dimension, only there's going to be an increased ability to understand time and space. Not step outside of it, but rather understand it and manipulate it in many ways. Things like you would think of as time travel and teleportation and stuff like that. Collapsing time, manipulating time and space. Okay, that's in fourth dimension. Now I'm talking about going to fifth dimension, and when you're in there in fifth dimension proper, like it's difficult to say, but mid-range and up, you'll be able to you'll have the opportunity to step outside of time and space. Now, somebody asked me a question: if you're outside time and space in 5D, how can you live to be 500 to 1,000 years old? Good question. Did I answer this in a video? I don't think so. But what happens is you have the opportunity to step outside of time and space, but you don't have to. You can stay in time space and you can manipulate it in any way you would like. You can be in super slow motion, so to speak, or super fast motion. In other words, you'll be able to have complete control of time and space, whether it's in time and space or outside, or manipulating it any way you want. Now, at that point, you do have the capability at that point to zoom outside of this creation altogether and go to your preference. I say home, but really you've lived forever. You've always been, you always will be. So there really isn't a home per se. But you do have areas that you prefer, where you have spent more time in, even though there's no such thing as time. Again, difficult to explain since you're in time space, but that's how I'm going to explain it. That you've got areas that you prefer, that you and your friends kind of think, like I call them my pub friends. It's like where you and your best friends hang out together. Okay, but you don't have to leave this creation. This creation above and outside of time space in this creation is pretty phenomenal. So you can hang out and look around, so to speak, either outside or inside the space-time illusion above 5D. There is duality there. There is a separation of light and dark per se, but there's a better understanding of both sides being equally important, and they're both a part of the whole. So you can experience the creations from that perspective in the dualistic standpoint of this creation in a different way. And it is pretty phenomenal. However, if you're outside time and space, you do it all in the now. So understand that there is a great deal more to this creation, so to speak, above 3, 4D, even above 5D, that will be fun for you to experience. But again, you can experience them either inside or outside of the fifth dimension. And so you can look around and see how all of this came to be, what the original creator of this concept had in mind, and how he started the game. Whoa. Hello. Phone's ringing. Alright. I don't know that number, so I'm going to ignore it and call them back later after I push stop. Yeah. So there's a lot that you can experience it's really cool in this dualistic creation that is not as intense as the third and fourth dimension has been. Like I said, whenever you get in the fourth dimension, those lowest vibrations that were created were accessible in 3D, in time space, and in the human body. Once you're outside of time space and you can come outside of the human body and transform into something else, then you can experience or see or know the lower vibrations of 3D from a very objective standpoint. Okay? So the cool thing is you will have experienced them in the human body. You know what it's like to translate those lower vibrations that were created in the third dimension to be experienced in the 3D body, and you will be able to see them objectively above 5D. You can turn around and kind of look at them all at once, and it is very cool. And it will be, of course, by then you won't need to forgive or anything, but you can see it from a different perspective, and I think you'll be able to understand why the game was created from that perspective. That it will help you remember why you agreed to come here, and from the standpoint that you saw it when you came in. There's a lot of difference between looking at it from that objective and from the objective of being in the human body, experiencing those lower vibes. It's completely different. Like I said, whenever I was dead, I turned around, I could see my whole life, and it was beautiful in every single way, with all of the trauma and drama that you know that I've experienced in body. When I looked at it objectively outside of the human body from a vibrational or vibrational standpoint, it's just hard to explain. I say vibration, but it's more like color and light and dark and vibration, all of it working together in this magnificent kaleidoscope of experience. And it is beautiful. It is phenomenally beautiful. And although it may not feel like it right now, you will be able to see it from that perspective once you hit 5D and beyond. And then you will be able to see how that creation happened, the original idea, what it is created for the whole, and why we are very grateful to every human, long-term human, and quad entity who has come and experienced these and created all of these new different shapes, colors, vibrations, and really they're interacting amongst themselves. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because we haven't talked about what happens beyond 5D besides you can go home, and you certainly can. But there is a lot more to check out once you're outside of time-space, outside of the necessity to be in the human body. Once you come out of that, there's a lot more to see, and a lot of it will make more sense, and you can breathe a little bit better. Of course, you'll know that by then anyway. All right? Okay, guys, so there's that, and huge hugs, and I love you all so much, and talk to you again soon. Bye.